Hello, Fellowship Bible Church family. Thank you for joining us for our 2020 digital congregational meeting. Now, this is going to feel weird because we're not in the gym, we're not eating ice cream together, but just so you know, I've got mine ready because we all know that these meetings go best with a bowl of ice cream. So I will not be offended if you pause me right now, go get your ice cream ready, and come back and watch the rest of the video. So here's the plan for this year. This video is going to be two parts. This is part one you're watching right now, which is coming to you on August 30th. And then the following Sunday, you'll get the second part of it on September 6th. The first part features this intro from myself, as well as Jason Hunley, our worship pastor, Tim Blankenship, our family pastor, and Raymond Hobby, the chairman of our deacons. The second part next Sunday will feature mostly just Jerry Watkins and myself as we talk about some elder issues, some missions issues, financial stuff, and what the next few months of the church is going to look like. So please join us again next week for that second part. But before I get to those other guys that are sharing with you today, I want to talk about just the purpose of our congregational meetings. You know, lots of churches gather together for congregational meetings where they vote on different issues and they debate different issues. The way we handle these meetings are more of family meetings with ministry reports, where we celebrate what God's been doing in different categories of ministry. And we also talk about what we're anticipating God doing in different areas, what ideas, strategies, visions we have for the next 6 months in different areas of ministry. We all know 2020 has been hard, and we've gone through a strange season as a church, as our whole country, our whole world has faced similar tragedies and difficult decisions together. But here's the deal. God is still working through this church. God's still working in this community. So one of the big things you need to know now about what's coming up is that September is a month of prayer for us. And so you should have already received some information via email. You probably heard about it on the Sunday morning service, but go to fellowshipdalton.com/prayer for more information about this prayer emphasis in the month of September. And we want you to pray with us every day. And I mean every day. Pray with us for our church, our city, for the COVID-19 crisis, and our country as we seek to see God move in revival, move in healing, move in pouring out his spirit and his power in our church, in our area. We want to see people come to know Jesus. We want to make disciples. That's what we're all about here. Glorifying God by making disciples. So I pray that as you watch these videos from Jason, Tim, and Raymond, that you'll be encouraged about what God's doing through the church, but also excited to see God do more. Be praying about how you can be supporting these different ministries. And feel free to ask us if you want to be involved in doing more to serve him through any of these ministries you hear about today. So, without further ado, here is Jason, Tim Blankenship, and then Raymond Hobby.
Hey there, church. That's what I've been doing a lot of, is cleaning off specific parts of my office so it doesn't look as messy as it is, putting together lights and tech stuff and cameras and all of the things. We had to get pretty good at that over a very short period of time. And so, we've tried as best as we can to up our production value for the purpose of trying to help you focus on what you need to hear from the speaker and not be distracted by poor audio or whatever's going on in the background. And some of the people who have helped us with that are specifically David Pasqua and Jeff Reschauer. Those guys were invaluable to me and to our team here to help us to get this whole online only thing up and running well. And so those guys really went above and beyond. And so if you think about it, send a text or an email to them thanking them. Another person is Matthew Gunn. When COVID hit and we went online only, my goal was to make it feel like I was just coming into your living room with you, and I didn't want to bring a whole band in there and overwhelm anybody. And so Matthew really helped me to do that well, and to be able to lean on someone else and have someone lead some songs. And so big thank you to him and those other two guys. But yeah, a lot of what I've been doing is not as much being in front of the camera as it is behind the camera, or even behind a computer. After things have been filmed, I've been doing a lot of video editing, and I've edited all of Tim Blankenship's kids videos and the VBS stuff, and that long stretch when we were filming Sunday morning services on Thursday and then releasing them on Sunday mornings. I was editing and producing all of those, and so that has slowed down a little bit. I'm not doing as much of that, but the kids ministry update kind of took over that time slot. Once those slowed down, I helped Tim Blankenship out with the kids ministry update. So it was fun to make some sawdust with him, and use a nail gun and all of the things, and see Emily and Melanie's vision for that area really come to life. Has been really cool. Really looking forward to this next season as we get back into having kind of a full band or something close to it. There are some limitations that come with that. We haven't talked about it, but the band is actually maintaining social distancing on stage. And so that also limits how many people we can have on stage. And so if you're on the worship team, I do want you back. And I do want you back soon. But there's a little bit of gymnastics that we have to do in order to get people on the stage. So it'll be a little while before we see multiple background vocals on the stage at one time, and the synth piano takes up some space, and we got to figure out how to get that on there. But at some point we'll be back to normal, and we're really looking forward to that. So yeah, that's what Jason has been into over the past little bit, and looking forward to the time when I'll be able to get back to memorizing music during my office hours, and and working on writing songs for our church. But it's been really a blessing that God prepared me to do a lot of editing and film stuff. A couple of years ago, I got really into it, and it's really been a blessing to not have that learning curve to worry about as we've come into this season. And so it's been a huge blessing from the Lord that He prepared me, even though there wasn't really much of a reason at the time to get into it. He allowed me to get passionate about it, to prepare for now. And so really thankful to Him for that. That's what's been going on with me.
Hey, fellowship, thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. I have our kids and our youth ministry update and reports, and I'm excited to share everything we were able to do over the past several months. At the beginning of COVID, we were able to shift and adjust quickly to an online format for both youth and for kids ministries. The way that we accomplished this with our youth, we had a Zoom conference call app set up every Sunday night to meet regularly with our students. During this time, we had a discussion-based format as we walked through the book of Proverbs to be able to discuss and to dive deeper with our students. It was a great time of fellowship together. Even though we were far apart, we were able to still connect in person without ever having to leave our homes. It was great to be able to still see them, but we looked forward to the day we were able to meet in person. We also did 9 one-minute videos going through the book of Colossians that we posted on our Facebook page, and you can find that at Lifted Student Ministry Fellowship Bible Church Dalton if you want to join in on that as well. But that is a page for parents to look in and get some updates of stuff that stay connected with our ministry. With that, we also came to the end of June, and we held our first in-person meeting, which we had a movie and bonfire night. And it was just a great time of fellowship, just to be able to see each other in person and to see all the kids just be able to connect without having to have a screen in front of them. It was just a fun night and a fun time together, and there was a lot of s'mores and marshmallows, and that was at the end of June. This led into July, where we had our small group based discussions that got started, and we had 4 different small groups, both middle and high school, boys and girls. And with those groups, they each had their own certain Bible study that they did that was very age specific and something that helped them grow deeper in their walk with the Lord. We are excited that in August we were able to have our fall kickoff, and we were able to actually worship in person for the first time since March. We had the youth room set up to where everyone was being able to come in and participate and be safe and be able to feel comfortable in our youth room again. And we also kicked off a brand new teaching series called Set Free, and it's a study through the book of Galatians. And we're going to be continuing that over the next several weeks. And we want you guys to stay tuned as we continue to plan the best way for student ministry activities. Next, we had our kids ministry shifted as well. And the way that we shifted this is we had 10-minute devotionals that aired every Sunday morning right before our 10:30 service. The goal with this was to be able to still connect with not just our kids, but also with families and parents together to be able to create discussion amongst students and their parents. The way we did this, we accomplished it with multiple different kind of science fun experiments. Also, we did an experiment and exploration in the woods and in the wilderness to be able to learn the truth about who is our God, to where kids were able to earn badges and learn memory verses throughout. We also had different kids from our kids ministry participate in those videos as they were helping film memory verses and things that they can share with their friends to draw in their My Thankful journals. And we also had some adults also participate in helping with memory verses and everything as well. So I want to thank all of our volunteers that have helped on the back side of that as well. We also had to shift our Vacation Bible School from in-person this year to an online format. And the way we accomplished that is we made 5 30-minute episode videos that also went through our whole VBS. We had some amazing volunteers that helped set up and also tear down. But we also had some awesome teenage volunteers that participated in those videos to help it come alive. And I want to thank Violet Pasqua, Aaron Higgins, Lindy Jensen, Jacob and Peter Jobnick, Elliot Hoffert, and Ellis Stevens for their participation and their willingness to get on camera and to help us bring VBS alive for all of our kids and for those that are going to be able to watch it later. Now, those videos are still on our YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com and you can search Fellowship Bible Church, and you'll be able to go in there and see all of our kids ministry videos. We have a playlist of 15 plus videos that are still available today and that can be watched at any time. And we want to encourage you guys to share those with other people and also rewatch them again to help you create more dialogue with your kids and with your families. Lastly, over the past several weeks, we have done some renovation to our kids ministry area. And we want to introduce this to you and share it with you guys as we have done some exciting stuff to breathe some new life into our kids ministry. We have a vision of rooted kids that's coming out of Colossians 2, verses 6 through 7, that we want our kids to be rooted and built up in Christ. And so what we did, we decided to switch some classrooms upstairs in our kids ministry area and put some new fresh paint on the walls. And so what we did is we took our lower elementary and our preschool classes and we swapped them. And we painted the walls and we created a theme built around rooted. We created a new puppet stage. We also put some writing on the wall. We also have introduced some new technology, TVs to one classroom. And we set it up so that way when kids go from nursery, they go from nursery and just easily walk around all the way around the hall to get up to the upper elementary classrooms. We have a lot more stuff coming up into the future, but we decided to breathe some new life and put a fresh look that is more kid-friendly, and it's also inviting and welcoming to kids and parents alike. So we are excited about everything we've been able to do and excited that what God is going to be doing and how God is going to help us minister to our kids coming in the near future. So we have some protocols that we have set out for the way we're opening kids ministry, because kids ministry opened up this morning. We had our first day in kids ministry in person, and we are super excited to be able to have everyone back. And we are thankful for our volunteers that are coming in during this crazy time right now to help us minister and to pour into our kids and our families. And so we have some protocols that we have set out, and if you have some concerns or thoughts or questions on those, please feel free to contact us. We'd love to share those with you and work through with those to make our program the very best that it can be. And with our new program, Kids Ministry opening up, we decided to open up with our Awana program. Our Awana program is exciting, it's fun, it's able to help kids learn the Bible and learn Scripture and move it from a head knowledge, but also hide it deep into their heart. So we look forward to what God is going to be doing over the next several weeks, and we look forward to seeing you and your families here on campus with us. And as we start to grow and open things back up, we want to work with you and to be able to have a place where your kids can come and have fun, but not only have fun, be able to learn the true gospel of Christ, and we grow together as a family. So thank you guys for tuning in with us, and we'll catch you later.
Okay, well, I'm here with Raymond Hobby, who is the chairman of our deacons, and Raymond is a longtime member of Fellowship Bible Church and has served as both an elder and deacon. And for this term, which goes from May of this year into April of next year, he's serving as our deacon chairman. So he's given us our deacon report. So Raymond, what can you share with us about what's going on with the deacons right now?
Well, we have a few projects that we are looking at, and then we also are just doing some general maintenance things that need to be done.
Yeah. So what kind of projects do you have right now?
Well, in order to be succinct, I want to read where we are in this particular case. Currently, we're making some minor plumbing repairs, studying our electrical needs, mainly in the sanctuary, coordinating the entrance-exit process according to CDC guidelines, and those will change this Sunday because of the beginning of Awana, and serving on the security team. You see 2 deacons, 3 people usually mic'd up for Sunday services. With the wires, we look like Secret Service agents, but we're actually on the security team monitoring. Additionally, we're coordinating the bid process for replacing the main building's fogged windows. I think you've noticed that in the last several months. The replacement of the Family Life Center metal doors, we have a couple that are in sad shape. We're looking at the drainage issue affecting the Family Life Center's south and west side, going towards the interstate and then toward the fence line property toward the mosque. And then we're also looking at the addition of rain shields for the Family Life Center southwest exit door, and an awning on this particular building to the north side here. So those are the small and the large things that we're working on at this point.
Yeah, that's great. And you've also done some other things, like you served a widow with a sidewalk and a mailbox at one point this summer. So you're talking about stuff goes on inside the building, but you also have other things that you're doing to serve the people of the church also. Yeah.
On the deacon board, we have 4 different committees and 4 different subcommittees, and there is someone in charge of each of those subcommittees, and I happen to be the one that's tasked with the outreach program. So in this particular case, when there was a mailbox that needed repaired, that's an outreach. So that's something that that I'm working in.
Yeah. Good. So actually right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the list of our current deacons on the screen for you, just so you know those names. And we know members vote on the deacon board every spring, and those guys serve 2-year terms. So we're just giving you the names right now so that you know who they are. You can pray for them and their families as they serve. One of the roles, as Raymond said, is serving in security, which is one of the things that you'll see them do most often when you're here on a Sunday morning. You know who those guys are, but there's a lot that they do behind the scenes, especially in just the changing season that we're in. And as Raymond talks about with kids ministry starting up on the 30th, that's going to be another big change. And as we have more big changes, we're just thankful for the deacons the deacons were the ones that when the elders said, hey, we need to be able to sit 6 feet between every family in the lobby, the deacons came in and figured that out and helped us work through the details of that. So Raymond, thank you for your service as chairman, and also for just all of the deacons and the work they do to serve behind the scenes. Welcome. Okay.
I'd also like to recognize 2 other members of the deacon board, because they're part of the leadership team with me, and that'd be Mark Higgins, who serves as the vice chair, and Alan Clark, who is a former chairman of the deacons. He serves as our secretary. So, and then as Pastor Tim said, he will put the other names up, or he'll put the list 12 there that serve in this capacity.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Raymond, and thank y'all for praying for and supporting our deacons. And know, like when we talk about the mailbox thing, that one of the functions of the deacons is to serve particularly those in need within our church family. And so when there is a need, we want to know. We want to know as elders how we can pray and shepherd. And sometimes we have the availability of the deacons to serve families in concrete ways. And that's literal when you talk about a mailbox and a sidewalk. That's concrete, like literally. So anyway, thank y'all. And thank you, Raymond.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, I'm finishing up my ice cream. So I guess it's time to conclude this section of our congregational meeting. And part 2 will be next Sunday. So get some more ice cream ready for that part. But before we go, I want to let you know that if you have any questions about anything that's been presented, here's the contact info for all of the guys that have been featured on this video. And we'll have the same again next week. We really want to be communicating with you. If you have any questions, if you want to be involved in anything, if you have any concerns about anything you've heard, please feel free to share some feedback. And if it's a good question, then we'll address it in a future service too, so that everybody can know the answer to the question if there's something that we weren't clear about today. But join us next Sunday, and always feel free to respond with any questions or concerns, and be praying this month in September for what God is going to do in us and through us in the month ahead. Thanks.